Hello, diecast fans and Japanese manga fans. So Kyosho has put out this set here, and I found it online, and it's called the Circuit Wolf, and it's a creation by Satoshi Ikizawa. It was a Japanese cartoon series that ran from 1975 to 1979 in a weekly magazine called Shonen Jump, and it's about racing, I guess. The story is a Yuya Fubuki, this guy, is a young street racer who drives around in this white Lotus Europa, and after a couple of local races, he is noticed by Mr. Yatabe, a businessman seeking to assemble a professional team. This is all from the internet, so correct me if I'm wrong. But I bring up that Yatabe because in this model set, there's this thing called the Yatabe RS, and it turns out this car was never actually made in the real world. This car is from this cartoon, but Kyosho decided to make it a physical model. I didn't know this before I ordered it. I just kind of assumed that was like a Japanese kit car, you know? But no, it's just a cartoon car from there. Anyways, apparently this Circuit Wolf, they made an anime as well, and then they also made a live-action film in 1977 where they actually had all these exotic cars racing around. I haven't seen it myself. Okay, anyways, but we're talking about models here, and this is by Kyosho, of course. It's a twin pack of these two cars. And let's see if there's a date here. No. Right there. Okay. Whoa. All right. So this is actually from 2019. So that's good. I kind of assumed like Kyosho didn't care about 1/64 scale because almost everyone I have is pretty old. But this isn't actually that old. So I guess they're still maybe putting out models, just not very many of them. So anyways, yeah, I found this online, and you can probably do the same if this thing only came out a few years ago. Let's take a look, though. So, it's going to be some blister packs, I guess, as usual. And, now let's take a look at this box here. So yeah, the creator, Satoshi Ikizawa, and some sort of profile, of course, that I cannot read. It says 1950 and 1969. I'm not sure what those would be. Something GP 2006. I don't know, but the box here again says 2019. Nothing there. Nothing there. So that's it. Okay. Interesting. So it's actually a glued together box. So I might as well get the other one out as well. Alright, I think we'll start with the Lotus since I just pulled that out. So we're going to have a little info card as well, and a little graphic from the cartoon. This must be maybe from the anime. Alright. Yeah, look at this. Computer monitor. And then we got your typical base, except for it's got this logo from the Japanese cartoon. You gotta unscrew it from the base. In fact, we'll just do the same for this one as well. Same card, I guess. Same type of base. In fact. Okay, so now I have a couple other Lotus Europas in my collection, and but you can look those up in the different video. So the only thing that's really different from the other two is definitely this has a wing, and it has these fender mirrors. So those are not on the other Lotus Europa special that I have a video on. But it also has a license plate, so that's different. That must obviously be the license plate from this cartoon. So actually some extra bits. Yeah, you got a wing, license plates, and these mirrors. And it looks like there's actually, alright, well I guess we're getting into the review here. This graphic here, it's tampo printed, so that looks pretty good. And then we got the Lotus badge there. Is it legible? Let's see. I can't really read it. Right? It looks like it, but it's not legible. Okay, so we got some painted on turn signals there, and then we got the inserted headlights again, painted on markers there on the side. And what's great about Kyosho is this bumper is a separate plastic piece. This chrome plastic is not molded into the casting. There's a little paint here for, maybe those are the turn signals or running lights, I'm not sure. And then there's depth for the grille behind, so that's really good, really good. Okay, so there's a little silver paint here for a door handle and a keyhole, and I'm assuming that might say Europa. Let me see if I can zoom in on that one. It's not legible again. It looks like text, a date, and text. Not sure. Okay. So you can see that the white paint, you know, it's kind of filling in those panel gaps quite a bit, but I can't really see much of the zinc casting behind it. Maybe a little here. So that's the trade-off between these solid light colors and the filling in the panel gaps. The wheels in typical Kyosho fashion are pretty nice. There's actually hollowness between the spokes there. I think there is. Yeah, there is. You can see a little light here on the far wheel, right? Okay, so on the bottom here, we got it's riveted together in this Lotus Europa SP, and maybe that means special. Okay, so the tires there, they look period correct. They're not super wide. They look pretty narrow for the time that this car came out. And then the thick plastic tail lights are good, and then the separate chrome bumper as well. Seems kind of interesting that the bumper is really high up, or the taillights are really low down. You would think design-wise it'd be the other way around, because look how high that rear bumper is compared to the front. That's really strange, right, design-wise? But maybe like this is probably maybe a more common height, and it's just that the nose is so low. Maybe that's abnormal. Not sure. Okay, well anyways, we got this wing here, and so that's pretty nice, and it's not super thick plastic. I mean, it's a little thick here on the sides, but I guess Kyosho did as good a job as one could expect. There's text here on the trunk. That's not legible either, at least in that rectangle. But if you look carefully, I didn't even see it with my own eyes. Lotus, those are legible, so that's pretty nice. It's just this one it's not. And then there's a keyhole graphic I didn't see either. It's really hard to see silver on white. Okay, so going to the top, yeah, I'm assuming these round things are the fuel filler caps. And then we got some silver paint for the hinges, and then some black here in this textured air vent here for the engine cover. This is a mid-engine vehicle, by the way. So yeah, if you want to learn more about it, I did a video on the two other Europas, the Kyosho Europas, a week or two ago. Alright, so it looks pretty good. I mean, if this is from 2019, the paint should be nice, and it is. I mean, I'm not noticing any blistering or problems there. I didn't even notice before, but there's silver paint on this molded on wiper blade. But unfortunately, in typical Kyosho fashion, the interior is just all black plastic, so you can't see much, even though I know there's detail there. Right? See you can see all the texture there and the seats and stuff, but without a flashlight, it's really hard to even see. So, okay, so that's it for that car. This is the one that, yeah, it's really weird. I just ordered it assuming this is a real car, but no, I don't think it is. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's only a car from this Japanese cartoon. It's interesting that it says Dino, like the Ferrari Dino. So maybe, I don't know, it must have been inspired by the Ferrari Dino. It definitely looks a lot like one. Interesting. Okay, well anyways, let's go here. So yeah, the graphics, you know, they're not decals or tampo prints, so they're not gonna fall off anytime soon. So it's good. These wheels are pretty good detail. I mean, you can see these little perimeter rivets, like a three-piece wheel would have. Not rivets, but you know, fasteners, and then some fasteners here for the center cap. So maybe that's like a knockoff center cap, or not. Maybe it has 5 lugs. I'm not sure. Okay, the door here, panel lines is all right there. This red is actually very nice. So historically, Kyosho red cars in the blisters, or just Kyosho red cars in general, have a lot of paint rash. So this being only a couple of years old, it doesn't have it. But I won't be surprised in 5 years if it starts to get paint rash. Okay, Unfortunately, this giant vent here has no black paint. It would be nice to have black paint there. Or, well, in typical fashion, there's no paint on the mirrors. Kyosho doesn't do that on their blister packs, it seems. There's a molded in wiper blade here, and it's painted black, yeah. And then a really fine black paint around the molding of the windows. Now this one, because it has got these giant windows here, you can definitely see the interior. So this is nice. Those are really cool windows. It's kind of like a Ferrari P4 as well. Okay, so yeah, there we go, Yatabe RS. I never watched the cartoon or the movie, so I just assume I'm just making this up, but if the businessman, Mr. Yatabe, is trying to assemble a professional team, maybe later on he develops this car for the star character of the series. Okay, so anyways, we got this ribs here molded into the casting and painted black. Oh, and these headlights are really cool. Look at that. I mean, there's lenses, but they're literally covering 2 headlamps that are painted silver back there. So those are some great lights there. Whoa, that's really interesting. I'm looking from the top now. This little clear rod is the plastic casting. And so, but there's still silver paint where that rod goes. So I don't know I have a feeling like that clear rod is glued to that silver painted headlamp that's part of the casting. I might be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking is happening. Okay, so then this side, any issues? No, just number 17 and Dino. Okay, so going to the back. Alright, we got the 4 nice tail lamps. Red and then the orange on the sides for the blinkers. Those are really nice. And then we got some dimensionality to the 4 exhaust tips. Unfortunately, there's no branding. You would think it'd say Yatabe RS or something back there. Even as a cartoon, it would have been cool to have that. But okay, so yeah, this thing is riveted as well, and minor details, and that's fine. It's running racing slicks, which is fine. Really big tires compared to that last car. All right, and the top we got some molded in textures here. But I kind of feel like it's a plastic and it's part of that interior piece. It's not part of the casting, I don't think. I'm pretty sure this is plastic. It's a separate material. So this wing here now, is this molded into the metal? No, it's not. Okay. So you can see there's a joint here. So the fin here, the strut, is the casting. But then this piece of plastic is glued onto it. But it's pretty good. I mean, it looks... the wing doesn't look super thick, so I think it's a good job by Kyosho. Now, this rear glass, yeah, alright, so there's a clear piece of plastic there. So that's really good. Alright. Yeah, I think the only thing lacking would be maybe a badge on the back, because almost every car I've ever seen has some sort of badge on the back, right? But again, this came from a cartoon, so I think Kyosho did a really good job of translating a cartoon image into a physical car. So pretty cool indeed. Alright, well, let me put this on the little spin master here. And actually, before I show them, I just want to show you this one. This is also from the Kyosho series for this circuit wolf, and this is a Lambo LP400 Lambo LP400. So I have another review on just a yellow colored version of this. This is pretty much identical, it just has the number 12 on it. That's the only thing that makes it different. So possibly the exhaust tips might be painted on this and not on the other stock blister pack Kyosho. So anyways, these are the 3 cars I now have in the collection from this Japanese series that I knew nothing about. So once again, I'm learning about different things in the world through collecting diecast cars. So if you have anyone bothering you about collecting diecasts, you could say it's educational. You're learning, right? So it's a good excuse at least. Alright, so there we go. I think it's pretty interesting. If you do a little research on the Kyosho Circuit Wolf, you'll find that there's actually 8 different vehicles in this collection. Unfortunately, none of the packaging promotes any of that. So I'll just leave it up to you to research that if you're interested. But in general, I would say, Kyoshos are good models. They don't have disc brake systems, like the Inno 64 or Tarmac Works. That's the only thing that's really lacking. Well, I guess interior details. There's never any color on their interiors. But externally, their molds are really great. Their printing is really great. I like the separate bumpers, and they have some of the best wheels going in the business, I think. Their wheels are very accurate to each individual car, so that's why I like Kyosho. I have more Kyoshos than any other brand in my collection. That might change someday, but right now they're dominating my collection because it's a good value. At least the older ones are. Alright guys, I am rambling on, so yeah, maybe you want to check out this Circuit Wolf. Maybe I'm going to try to track down the live action film. There's a couple of YouTubes on it, so maybe I'll watch some more of those myself. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next round.